Test it.
Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits.
Remember to like and share.
Definitely. Here we go. Good morning. Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's The Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt and Jay and Steve. And today we got a special guest on the studio with us, Peggy Lee with the P.
That's right.
And Jeff with the G is watching over us, so we better not make any mistakes, right, Matt?
That's right.
Reverend Matt.
Yeah, I just thought that was a foregone, I thought that was knowledge that everybody had.
I saw a sign as I walked in. It said, Reverend Matt Pearson.
Yeah.
So I think I have to call him Reverend Matt now.
You don't have to call me Reverend.
I feel I need to. As a Catholic schoolgirl, you said,
Reverend Matt.
Sister, Reverend, you need to show
Like
respect.
Barney says.
Barney calls me Pastor.
Yeah, Pastor.
Pastor?
Oh.
Pastor Matt.
But of course, Barney's been calling me Pastor since long before I was licensed
Wait,
or ordained.
Barney?
Barney is my drummer and one of my best friends.
Okay.
He's 6'9". He's that really tall guy that I don't know if you guys were here when he came in that day.
No,
I was here.
I thought you were calling Steve Barney. I thought that's his nickname.
Oh,
He's a great man of God.
I'm
He
Mickey
is.
Yes, I did see him.
Something like that.
Steve O'Mickey Mac.
He's
Thank
the
you.
third rule in a crisis situation.
1, 2, 3, Barney.
Yes, if you're in a crisis situation, he's the one who will say,
Good morning, Uncle Ray.
Jesus got this.
Yeah.
We're
Or
that's
okay.
nice.
So we had just got done playing at Northwest Baptist. This about 3 years ago.
Oh, we didn't
4 years
announce
ago.
ourselves.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
Peg with a P.
Peg with the P.
And Jeff
Like
with
and
a
share
G.
these videos. It's the number one way you can help us. If you think the content of one of these videos will benefit somebody or one of your friends on your list, like and share it live with them.
Thank you.
That would help us
You're
out
welcome.
immensely.
Yes, it would.
Reverend Matt.
Rachel tries to.
Reverend Matt.
Reverend Matt, are
Pearson.
you starting with a worship song for us?
I didn't bring my guitar, and I don't have any vocal tracks of any kind. I do need to keep
What would
another
Shrek
guitar.
say?
Shrek would say,
Wing it.
Jesus loves you.
He would say that.
I am a Christian. I do love the Lord.
Oh,
Donkey. If Donkey were a Christian.
donkey. God
Man, I
used
do
a
love the Lord.
donkey.
The Lord done enough for me. I don't know. That's
Who
all I
does
got.
Yeah,
that?
that's
Who's
good.
that?
That's Donkey, Shrek, and Donkey. I am a donkey. I was born. I do like it outside.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Good.
That is a
What
nice
is that?
boulder.
Who would want to live in that? God would be my home. Oh, and I love what you've done with such a modest budget.
Good.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder. That's my favorite line in that entire movie.
How
I
many
know.
times have you watched it?
I don't know. Probably at least 30 times in my life since it came out.
20 for me.
All right, you're going the right way for the smack bottom. That's, kind of
That's
funny
good.
stuff.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very
Oh, great. Now, why don't you go celebrate your freedom with your own friends?
good. Are you
I don't have any
naturally
friends.
good with accents like that?
It
That's very good.
it
we
does
there
come.
yet?
It does
He
come
is.
Are we there
naturally,
yet?
and
Are we
I
there?
don't know how.
It's a gift.
I think you just love
It's a
it, too.
gift.
You
No
gotta love it.
donkey.
And
We are not
appreciate
there.
accents.
Yes, but you have to have a gift for it. Not everyone does. I
See,
don't.
accents to me mean that somebody's from a different place and there's a different culture.
Yes, and you appreciate
And I'm
it.
interested in it, yeah.
You celebrate, not just
Most
tolerate.
people, because of the climate today, when you, where I work, I ask people, I noticed an accent, where are you from? They're reluctant
Yes.
because they don't want to feel like an outsider.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's kind of a sad thing.
I know, as my mother-in-law would say, you celebrate the differences, don't just tolerate. And that's a
Amen.
shame.
Yep.
That's right. Now
Amen.
today's
Amen.
topic of conversation is different perspectives,
Yeah.
and we figured that out on the way in. On the way in today,
We were doing that, and we didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't
right.
know it either.
See, we were led.
That's right.
Okay, all right, the different perspectives I'm talking about are like today. We were driving in. You could see the sun through the fog. It was beautiful,
It was gorgeous.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my word.
To us, from our perspective, the sun is smaller than the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But when you actually look at the actual size of it, it would take 100 of our Earths
126.
to go
Isn't it
not the
largest-
diameter, but the
Earths.
the diameter. Yeah,
Diameter.
from one end to the other.
Isn't it the largest planet or the largest planet or something like that more than the Earth, or is the Earth
The sun?
the sun?
Sun's not a planet.
Or it's not a planet.
It's a star.
I can't
It's a
help
star.
you.
I meant.
Yep.
I'm
I
sorry.
can't help
Yep.
you. But
It is the largest body in our solar
is
system.
that
That's-
science? Is that
yeah.
science?
That's what I thought.
what
I
do we-
said
It
planet, but I
is
meant
a
star.
branch of science.
It's a branch of
Astrology.
science. Astronomy?
Astronomy.
Yes.
Not
there's
astrology.
a difference.
Because astrology is spiritual.
Yes, astronomy is the study of
Astronomy.
the stars, like the wise men.
That's how they made it across the oceans.
Yes, they did.
Was
Florida,
knowing where, how they were how they knew they were going in the same direction over time.
That's how they found Jesus. The three
Yeah.
wise men.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they took a leap of faith. Well, they
Well, they
walked
were
by
told.
faith.
Not
They were
by
told
sight.
by an
Star.
angel.
Not by sight, but then they did try to follow the stars.
They did follow the star.
So
They
it's a
did follow the
combination
star.
of both, is it
Yeah.
not?
I like
Reverend
when
Matt.
you're in the country and it's so dark and you look up into the solar system,
Hey,
into
Bruno.
the universe. No, into the galaxy.
Good to see you, Larry.
And you can see it.
Yes, that's what, coming from New York, we love living in Missouri. We get
Missouri.
to see the stars.
Yeah.
Can
I
you see-
was camping one time and I went out. I think I was out southeastern Missouri, and I was in the mountains and I was looking for a camp, and it was a weekend where all the campsites were full, and I'm stopped at a gas station, and this guy pulls up next to me. He's a local, he's just there to get his milk, and I said, I'm here to camp, but I think there's no campsites that have a space for me. And he said, you know what? You need to go down this road. And he gives me directions to this place. And so I drive down miles on a motorcycle
Oh
down a
my
gravel
goodness,
road,
you're
and
very
it's a
brave.
cruiser. And I get to this place where you go down into this valley
Oh
where
my
it's
goodness.
steep mountains right up, and all the way around you, on all four sides of you, and they're high like this, And so at night, I come out of my tent and I see something,
Oh my
and I'm like, "What is that?" It was the solar system. It was the Milky Way.
Wow.
There was this,
Wow.
and then as my eyes came into focus, it was so beautiful and so detailed. You could see such fine detail. All the little.
God's handiwork.
There's no words to describe it. Yes, and it's truly a moment to worship God. And then some critter thought
yes.
that I was something to be investigated.
Yes. Oh, Lord, that's
And
the
it wasn't a
stuff.
little critter, because you could hear it coming across the field straight at me.
Oh, my word. Oh, my word.
I was like,
Lord.
I ran and I went back into my tent.
Oh,
That's
my
where I
goodness.
stayed. Because you know how tents are like, so they provide protection.
Yeah, just like blankets save you from the monsters in your room. when
Oh
you're
Yeah,
a
yeah,
kid.
yeah,
Word.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they're
hide under
underneath
the
the bed.
blankets.
It was some
Yes.
fat critter probably thought I was either food or had food,
Yes,
and it was going
yes.
to take it.
Oh, my goodness
Either
gracious. you're
take you or
brave. He's
take
very
it.
brave. The beauty
I
of
was
God's
not brave. I
creation.
ran. You know how fast I
But
was
you were
inside
there.
that tent?
But
Were
you
you
were
fast?
Yeah.
Was it fast?
It
Were you
was fast.
It was part of.
You
I
were
probably
there.
went
Fast.
30 feet in 2 steps.
Oh, I bet.
I just camped once in my entire life. We've
Really?
had to do a Greece question. It's the 50th anniversary of Broadway Greece in February
Wow.
14th,
Nice.
2022. And they're writing a book. So all of the original, and thank God for my husband who's a good editor. I spent like 18 hours. I admire writers. It's very tedious, laborious. Well, anyway, I had to bring back memories, and I camped once in my life in the Colorado with some of the cast members, and it was a tent. Once in my life, that was it. And we heard bobcats and everything, and it was really scary.
I
And
forgot
we
to eat
came
today.
down.
Did you?
Oh, and I don't have
Uh-oh.
anything to give.
No.
you. Okay.
I've got my feelings.
So that
at
was
the
it.
house.
Did my one in the Colorado mountains somewhere. That was it. Done. And got to experience it. Done.
Done?
Now
Not
I'll go
gonna do it again?
glamping. No.
Glamping.
No.
What's glamping?
Oh, glamping's fun.
Glamping is like you go in a cabin
Oh,
with
yeah,
air
yeah, yeah.
conditioning.
Glamorous camping.
Glamorous camping.
Right.
Or a tent that's
With the perfect
a
view.
luxury camp tent.
Oh, do they have luxurious camp tents?
Glamping is where they have these nice tents that have
A yurt.
actually beds. You can put a bed
I'm
in
learning
it
all kinds of new
and
words. today.
lamps.
Oh, see, I think of a cabin in the woods, but that's
No,
very
it's actually a
interesting.
tent.
Who sets it up?
The bobcats.
That's what we heard when we were in the mountains.
They're like, we're gonna set up these
Yeah.
tents, and
Oh,
when
yeah.
they come in here,
If you
Yeah.
build it, your food will
You
just.
will-
if you build it, they will
They will
come.
find it.
Yeah,
And
you
then-
don't even have to put a door on the cage. You just leave it open, and they'll just stay there.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
it have
all right.
walls? Nice walls in the tent. Oh,
It's
Fabric.
It's canvas.
It's a heavy-duty canvas.
I mean, if I was a
Heavy
mountain
duty,
lion, that's
yeah.
how I'd do it.
right? Just
I
trick
feel like
them
I'd
in
just
there.
build a
but can the
tent
mountain
when they
lion
come
get
to
in
stay
there?
I bet you they would still
A
kind of
mountain
walk
lion would be
through.
too scared to get in there. Really.
think so?
I mean,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, from what I've been told, if you encounter a mountain lion in the
Yes.
wild,
Go ahead. Teach us. Come on, forever.
now, I'm not 100% on this because if I see a giant feral cat out in the wild, I'm probably gonna, maybe pee my pants.
Yeah, like a
So-
150-pound
Yeah.
cat.
But I've heard
why
that
you're
Here, kitty, kitty,
if you
kitty.
make yourself as big as possible and yell really loud, you can scare them off.
I'm a fighter, so like when a dog comes at me, I don't run.
Oh,
And they
I
stop and,
face
like,
it
wait,
and
wait.
I get ready to fight it.
did you hear about the shark? What happened? The man, a husband and wife were swimming. It was like a month ago, and the shark attacked the wife, got the leg. He got on the shark, kept beating the shark until he let go of the wife, and then he swam away. It was in the news.
Good man, that's what
That-
They
you do.
say
dog.
they
That's a
say
good
you poke them
man.
in the
My
eyes.
hero.
Like you poke him in the eyes and you punch him right like in the
That's what he was
nose.
doing. I think that's what he was
Uh,
doing.
That's what I was told.
Because they've got that's a very sensitive part of their body is their
The nose.
nose.
Yep,
tip of their nose and
I
their
have
gills.
heard that where you punch them right between the eyes or on the nose.
That's what he was
and they'll-
doing,
and they'll
but he-
let go and
He's
take
my
off.
hero.
He hopped on him. He hopped on the shark.
And then you bite him
Look it
back.
up.
You bite the
He's my
shark
hero.
back.
Did you ever watch?
really.
Did you?
Reverend Matt, you're not supposed to tell lies.
That's not
You're
hey,
the Reverend.
If you're gonna die from a shark attack,
Busted.
you may as well go out fighting.
Right, I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
Did you ever see? There was a movie with a bunch of Alaskan dogs with cubing.
Kevin Costner.
No,
one?
Cuba.
Now, you can mention the name of a video of a movie.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
talking about-
yesterday was bad.
What'd you do?
No, it's Snow Dogs.
Yeah, yeah. We
Oh.
can mention some movies and
Yeah,
stuff, and then we
Snow
offer our
Dogs.
opinions
We
about
mentioned Shrek.
Yeah.
And, well, yeah, on Snow Dogs, where if you bite the ear of a dog, they'll let go.
No.
And he actually bit the dog. And he goes, "I can't believe." I forgot his name now. The actor.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
No, the older guy.
Oh, I don't remember.
Anyway, he said, "You actually bit the dog's ear." Oh, I didn't think anybody was dumb enough to bite the ear because actually it worked.
You know,
bite
those
the-
dogs are very vicious.
Yes.
Now they show them. They're working dogs.
Malamutes, the Alaskan Malamutes.
Malamutes and
Husky.
Huskies. Huskies are the sled dogs,
Beautiful dogs.
and they are. They're trained and they are working dogs, and they are.
They're
If
vicious.
you are not their keeper, you
Don't
gotta be,
approach them.
Don't of course with
Okay.
any dog. If
can't
you don't
just
know the dog,
reach out your hand and say, "Snip
Well,
it."
our little
Don't-
4-pound Willie loves everybody.
yeah, really,
yeah.
He
Chihuahua,
loves me, he loves me best.
Is it
Yorkie.
Chihuahua?
No,
Yorkie.
Yorkie. Yorkies
Ah.
are love vessels.
Yorkie, aka Yippee dogs.
The
Doesn't
Yorkie
bark.
I've
Isn't
seen.
he-
Oh, it's such a sweet.
We should invite Willie on the program. He would
Oh,
just
I love
he would
dogs.
love it.
yes.
Now, and Yorkies don't shed, so that's
They
okay.
don't, no.
We had a lady that had a show, and she would bring her dog, and we'd be cleaning up dog hair for days.
Whoa.
Thank you,
That's-
Steph. It was a
See,
respect thing. is
and
what
that's a
I-
perspective thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a respect thing. That's what.
You say yours is a love vessel. I say it's a little monster that would tear up my ankles.
He's afraid of everyone. He just
Skittish.
waits.
Yeah.
He's skittish. Good word.
Now, my
Good
my
word.
parents have a dog named Hannah,
Would he bite me?
and she is half Chihuahua, half Beagle. She's a Choweagle. So
She
you can
is a
very
tyrant.
She's a
you
mutt.
very clearly tell she's a Chihuahua.
Yes.
She has the personality of a Chihuahua, but the size of a mid-sized Beagle.
Oh dear.
And standard Chihuahuas are pretty big. Have you ever seen a standard Chihuahua?
Oh, I thought they were little.
We had one named Rambo, and he was like this tall. Standard Chihuahuas are huge.
Wow.
That's-
Where are they from originally?
Chihuahua.
They're from Chihuahua.
Literally, isn't that the
Chihuahua.
name of the place they're from?
Is that
Probably.
true?
It's
I think
it's,
so.
it's a place in South America
Yeah.
somewhere.
Really?
That's why. That's
never
why
knew
all
that.
of them are portrayed as having Hispanic accents.
Yes,
you
they
know.
are.
You
Oh,
learn something new every day.
I love this. This is an educational program
You know,
today.
our dog is Rat
they're
Terrier.
Tough. Yeah, rat terriers are really smart. As long as they're not pedigree. The more
thanks,
pedigree the
Jackson.
dog, the dumber the dog. Did you know that?
See, Jackson,
Because
you're
they're
smarter
inbred.
than-
Most purebred dogs are inbred, and they're kind of dumb. That's why the smartest dogs you see are the mutts,
You know what? I agree.
because the gene pool is not, ankle
Well,
deep.
actually, is half black
agree.
lab and half rat terrier. The rat terrier part of Jackson is definitely like
So
a
it's
rat
a
terrier.
blab terrier.
But yeah, or a lab, or somebody told me he's a lab rat.
Aw, is he
Yeah,
big?
that works.
Yeah, I like that.
Our Willie is full, and he's not bright, but he's a love vessel, so we
Well,
don't care.
And we've also got she is half Maltese and half Shih Tzu.
Well, Maltese are brilliant.
I
Get a
was calling
Maltese.
her the wrong
Dogs
name
are
for the
pretty.
longest time. I was
Dogs are-
calling her a multi-sheets, only I didn't say it properly.
Uh-huh.
But it's actually a mul sheets is how you say it.
I was waiting for you to say something like
I'm
that.
not going to say that because it sounds like a cuss word on the air.
Yes,
not allowed
and
with it.
that's why you didn't say it that way.
That's
It's a
like,
reverend, Steve. He can.
Bulldog and Shih Tzu combined.
Oh,
But you
I
have to
got
say
it
it right.
first. Did I get it first?
Yeah, no, you have to say it right. Otherwise, it's a cuss word.
Right. You
I think
have
that's
to.
okay. Now that
We're
I'm
not
thinking
saying
about
it.
it, that is the intention of that joke, I guess. But I've actually never seen one. They've
So I've got a joke about dogs.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh,
What
This
would you
is going to be rough.
What would you call a dog with no legs? It doesn't matter. He won't come to you.
oh, man.
My dogs love that joke.
Yeah.
How
They-
many
they-
dogs do you have?
I had to.
When he moved in with me, he had to get rid of them
Yeah.
because they're not good with
Okay.
little creatures.
They will
and
go after the horses too.
Oh,
That's a
and-
no-no.
My schedule isn't such that it's good for dogs because they don't have enough time with me
yeah.
and they go too long inside, and that's not fair.
You have to
them.
get a doggy door.
Yeah, they
We have a
need somebody.
doggy door. Our doggy door is
Well,
this
the place
big.
I lived, they couldn't go outside on their own either.
Okay.
'cause
Is
there
it a
wasn't
computer
fenced
chip
in yard
on
or
the
anything.
on the collar that lets it lock?
No, we have our dog's this big, so he has his little deck he goes onto, and then he comes in through his. And we had to build a little house, so he goes in his little house, goes up the stairs, so there's no raccoon or skunk or anything. And we had to teach because Willie's true, as you said, full breed that's been inbred, so he's not brilliant, but he's a love vessel.
So
Khalid and I
the
had to
dumbest
push him.
dog
We had to push him like
is-
10 times with food to teach him how to do it,
Yeah.
and he goes through his doggy door.
Well,
Funny.
I
I love dogs.
I
That
love
was a-
everything about
doesn't matter.
that story.
That was pretty rough.
The doggy door is as big as there. It's
Yeah, well, see, they have those ones that are they have an RFID tag that goes in the collar
Yes,
around the neck,
right.
so that the magnetic locks unlock so they can get through it if they're wearing it. That way you can't, because raccoons are mischievous little creatures. They will come in and they will open all your cupboards,
Yeah.
pull all your canned goods out.
They have thumbs.
Yeah, and they are mean, and they also carry rabies.
They can.
Unless you feed them glazed donuts.
We
Why,
used
it
to
kills the rabies.
no.
No, then they love you.
They
Are
love
cute. They got little hands.
Their little eyes are so
Unless
Yeah.
they're done. If they've finished their donut and you still have one, then they're not so friendly.
No,
They're not
no,
so-
they
No,
they
then
don't
they're
love you
coming
so
after
So have
you.
you all experienced raccoons with
Yes.
No.
the
When I
the
was
donuts?
younger,
I did.
No, I'm making
my
stuff up.
stepdad,
Oh,
when I was
okay.
younger, was a coon hunter, and we raised coon hounds in Walnut Grove. And we found an well, after we had, I guess he had killed the mother, he found the orphaned raccoon baby. And we had kennels out there that were empty. And because for some reason all the coon hounds pups that we had were out in a pen outside with a bunch of dog houses, but so this raccoon lived in captivity, and it was my brother's job to go out and feed this raccoon. Scooter, we called him, and he got mean,
Ooh.
like to everybody.
Oh.
But my brother still had to go out and feed him. And he's, I don't want to go out and feed him. That thing tries to bite me. Well, I don't know. I
May
personally.
I ask a question? Matt?
What's that?
A coon hound. Explain what a coon hound
Okay,
is.
so a coon hound, they are specifically bred. They have been bred to hunt coon, like to a tree and bark but you have to train them to do it.
Got it.
But
it.
they're uniquely bred for like they're more able to do that. Like you have we had walkers and blue tick, which blue tick it it's like almost like a blue heeler like pattern. So it's like a light shade of blue with little darker blue dots all over. But we had, and what they do is, you got to train them to find the coon, and then they tree the coon. They get it up the tree and they stay there and they bark and let their hunter know to come and kill the coon.
Wow.
And they're rodent dog. I mean, if a coonhound gets a hold of a coon, I mean it is ugly.
It's over for the coon.
I hated coon hunting. I hated it.
Why?
Because I didn't like seeing the animals die.
I guess. Yes.
And then
And this dog you love
the dog you love.
being so vicious.
Yes.
We had a pup that we took out with her parents, or his parents. We called him Zorro because he had red, bloodshot eyes. It looked like all the time. And he was a pup, so pups still have those claws, real sharp claws. And he went to tree the coon. He treed the coon. The coon went running up the tree. He went running up the tree after it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he climbed all the way up the
dear.
tree.
Okay, how do they train them? Like what kind of training do they do?
Well, I mean, I don't know how the
Educational
initial
program.
training.
I think the training is to respond to the hunter. Naturally, they will hunt anything that they smell.
Okay.
But then also, like, we would take them out with the parents and hunt with the parents. So I don't know how the initial training goes without the parents, but we would let the hound pup go out with us and go with the parents.
I see.
And
I see.
the parents usually showed them what to do.
May I ask another question? This city girl. What do you do with the raccoons then once they're hunted?
You cook them and eat them.
My stepdad would skin them, and he had a place where he sold the pelts. And then we ate them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like eating rabbit.
Is it good like rabbit?
It's a greasy dark meat,
Yeah,
and
it is a
it's
greasy-
really good if you cook it right. Hunters usually know how to cook them
Interesting.
really well.
Yeah.
Do you
I
put
went to a
cayenne
hunter-
pepper on it?
No, they use some vinegar. They use a lot of vinegar.
Yeah, because vinegar takes the gamey taste out of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank goodness.
It's so good, though. Oh, I went to a hunter's convention.
Yeah.
And ate their dishes.
Is
that
Well,
they
that-
you can
So
marinate
good.
it in a mustard-based. What's that noise?
Oh, I just
No,
heard
that's a
little thing.
static.
They're back
Static.
there.
No.
Oh,
Heard it,
Is that
heard it.
switched on or off?
yeah, I do hear.
Heard it.
It sounds.
Heard a little
It,
thing.
That's weird.
So this is an educational program for
Yeah.
city
not-
dwellers, especially.
so it
Yeah.
was a wrong title for today.
Well, her perspective is as a city dweller.
As a city dweller.
Oh,
So
Our
okay.
perspective is from, country folk. Well, Jay, you're a city dweller, but you've also hunted.
he's crossed over.
I haven't hunted.
My brother-in-law's
No.
a hunter, and he's told me how he's. In fact, he had deer out his
This is
back
going to
door.
be loud.
And where they live in Grand Rapids,
Oh.
That
they've
was it.
actually had deer because they're next to a group of trees.
It must have been
They've
building up
actually
static.
come up into the woods. And my nephew is just like my brother-in-law taught
Sorry,
him
everybody.
how to hunt, but he couldn't. He could not.
Tastes like chicken, Troy Johansson says.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would hunt for food.
he
of course. To
he just
survive.
couldn't shoot the deer because the deer was so close. He said
Yes.
that's not fair. So
Yes.
they let that deer go.
Matt,
No, we were good. We were good.
your dad.
Go ahead and unmute number 6 because I played the outro music.
Matt, your dad shared a story with us on Sunday afternoon. How he was face to face, eye to eye, when he was at war, and
He looked what?
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
he was eye to eye. The person had come up close,
Yeah, he had the draw on him.
but he did not.
Showed mercy.
No, he did not.
He did not, and he
He
said
said-
to this day, he's grateful that that vision is a clearer vision than if he had to.
Taking the life. Yeah.
Well, there
Yes,
was, and he
yes.
was talking about at one time, so he knows what it's like to take a life, although he doesn't actually know that he never saw anybody that whose life he and maybe have taken, because you're just shooting into the forest, right?
Mm.
Well, there was one that was running, and he shot, and the person
Yes.
went down.
Yes.
And so until they walked all the way over there and found out that the person still lived and that he didn't actually hit them, and it was a
Yes.
woman.
In the yes, she shot.
And he said, now, he didn't kill that person, but he knew from the time that he fired that shot till he realized that person was alive, he knew what it was like to deal with taking someone's life.
Yeah.
and being knowledgeable about it.
Yes.
And knowing
And he
it.
said it
Intentional.
was horrible.
He said, "How could it's hard to be the same?" And he's
And you can
grateful
get
that he didn't have to.
PTSD real quick.
Yep.
The fact that he is as normal as he is amazing to me. That is God working in his life, and he'll tell you that.
I don't know how. You,
That's what's not so good about a draft. People who enlist, it's an intentional process for them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They go in there with the intention to do what they're told, to be part of something, and to understand
Susan.
that there's a higher command who's in charge of it and has their own intention and their own purpose, and that they are essentially a device to go out and to wage war. You know, that's a different. People can compartmentalize that, but when there's a draft and you're not willing to go to begin with, and you don't want to go, even if you sign up so that you're not drafted, because you believe in your country and you are a patriot and you want to fight on their behalf rather than being
Oh, I thought
forced.
that went without saying, Troy, that he is a combat veteran.
entered to
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
we
yes.
were talking about in
Oh,
Vietnam
yes.
and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
he is a
We
combat veteran.
assumed that.
He was
Yes.
messed up for
Good
a long
morning,
time from
Rachel.
that. He had a
Good
nervous
morning,
tick
Rachel. Yes.
and talked about it all the time.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
but I mean, I and like when he talks to other veterans, like he'll stop and pray with other veterans in the store all the time. He'll say, "I'm just another whacked out Vietnam vet," he would say.
Yeah.
And he would talk about how he was a river rat and all this. I mean, he was there. Anytime I watch and I watch documentaries on that stuff because I want to always remember our history because they say if you don't remember
You
your history, you're
repeat
doomed
it.
to repeat it. Now, a lot of people are remembering history, but they're refusing to remember it because they want to pretend like it never happened.
That's
That's
because our schools are negligent.
yeah, absolutely. That's no of that I have no doubt.
And politics, we understand that politics are not up front what they say they are. So there's a conflict.
And he was
in-
drafted, by the way.
There's a
My dad was.
conflict of a conscience,
Yeah.
You go to war for your country for all the right reasons, wanting to preserve what you believe is right and what you've grown up with. But then you understand that behind the scenes, politics and politicians may be really creating a situation and putting you there for another purpose, one that you really don't agree with and don't want to serve. So there can be a conflict of your conscience there.
It makes me really sad because, all the lives lost, all the American lives, all the lives lost. And like they were 2 days from catching up to the leader of the Viet Cong, and because they finally had gotten permission to go down the Ho Chi Minh Trail and chase this guy down. They were 2 days away from catching up to him, and they were going to put an end to the Vietnam War. They were going to chop the head off the snake. 2 days before, Richard Nixon pulled him out because he caved to the people protesting, which, protesting is our right as American citizens, but it just infuriates me because all that death, and for what? For days later, for the Viet Cong to be victorious. Hundreds of thousands of lives, more than that if you count all the lives on both
I'd be
sides.
careful of simplified explanations too, because most of the time these things are so complex. Like so Vietnam involved also other countries. What Vietnam borders China,
Yeah, but
and
France.
Cambodia.
And also France.
Good morning,
No,
Rob
France is on the other
Shopkins.
side of the continent.
Yeah, but
Right.
no, but there was. I mean, that's the first shot was on a
French soil.
it was on it was a French unit on Vietnamese soil that were shot down. But I watched. Okay, so there's a documentary called Vietnam in HD, and there's also one by Ken Burns, which is I love Ken Burns documentaries. I'm a documentary junkie. I love that stuff. But yeah,
We do too.
that stuff is, I mean, amazing. Like movies like We Were Soldiers. It's a very accurate depiction about what went on in that place. Directed and produced by Mel Gibson.
Oh,
So it's going to be good. So it's yeah. I can't even imagine, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us can't, because I've never been in that violent of a situation.
No.
Where you'd have to make the decision as to whether or not to take someone's life or not. I couldn't do it. And Dad said that God was looking out for him the whole time. He said he fell asleep one afternoon. He was like laying down to take a nap or something, and there was a bomb raid on the bunkers and stuff around him, and he slept through it.
Man.
There were times where he would
Sweet
just drop
sleep.
down and duck before anybody even knew they were being ambushed. He did see there was an atheist in his group that, like, when they got ambushed and they were all ducking and stuff, he pulled a little piece of paper out of his helmet and started reading it, and it was the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
And Dad said, "Oh, what are you doing? I thought you were an atheist." And he said, "It can't hurt."
No atheists in foxholes.
No.
Is that
because
true?
That's true.
a loving father is who we would want in those times. You know, because what does a father do? Protects
yes.
you.
Yes.
He
Right? Loves you, disciplines you, corrects you, teaches
he kept the
you,
23rd Psalm on a
Amen.
piece of paper that he carried with him everywhere.
Amen.
and does all that for your sake.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I
He
mean?
loves us all. He wants
Yeah.
all of us to come to him.
And what do you need more in war when everything is horrible? There's no real good explanation or solution that is going to satisfy you and make you feel like this is okay. You know, and the end result is war is war.
Yes.
It's not beautiful. You know, and to have a loving father at that time and understand that all of the horrors and the difficulties in life that you might face are all sometimes necessary and maybe not good.
We're going to have a new earth with no war, right? 1,000-year reign,
Amen.
no tears,
People
no
are gonna
fears, no
Beat
war.
their swords into plowshares.
Love will reign and joy of the,
The
Lord
lamb will lay down with, the lion.
Yes, and the
Yeah.
bobcats, and will maybe hang with you, Jay. Go
Thank you,
camping
Troy.
with you.
That is very true. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate that. He said Matt's father
I'm
is
too alpha.
a
It'd have to be a
shepherd.
lamb.
Okay, your dad is awesome, and you are a lamb.
You are a lion. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
well,
Lion? Well,
whatever. I am what the Lord
cougar.
wants me to be.
At the right time,
Yeah.
be all things to all people for
Yeah.
the sake of the gospel.
I was just talking about that to Pastor Paul Clark from our church last night. All things to all men.
For the
I
sake of
come
the
across as a
gospel.
but
do.
there's sometimes,
Yeah.
you know,
He's a lamb with
there's
6
been-
foot sharp teeth.
Yeah, there's been some moments where I was able to, where
Well-
people understood suddenly that I wasn't what they thought I was.
Righteous indignation.
They were like, "Wait a minute."
right?
whoa.
Righteous indignation.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But I was blessed because that really wasn't me. You know, I don't know. Sometimes it's weird. You know, it's not like a split personality, but there's a time when something comes out of you in a certain circumstance, which is a circumstance you don't really want to be in. It's not what you prefer,
Right.
but you find yourself there and have to be something that you don't want to be. You have to be like you have when you have to fight.
Well, what about Jesus with the money changers? He saw an injustice. He saw something going on.
Yeah.
He,
Chased him out of there with
Threw
a
everything. He
whip
went
made
Made
out
a
of
whip.
rope. Made a whip out of rope.
yeah, he threw over the
Chased
table.
him out.
To
That's
do
the
it
only time
with
he
intention.
really show that they talk about him getting angry in the Bible.
Yeah.
that's the only time I remember.
With the exception of
Getting violent, yeah.
and
He
getting
was
violent.
angry before.
Yeah, like whenever he healed the leper, and I can't remember which book of the Gospels it actually says Jesus was indignant. Was it indignant?
Indignant. Yes.
Yeah.
How about when he wrote in the sand with the adulterous woman?
Oh yeah, we talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
that too.
He wrote, and we
Hey,
heard
Rachel.
this week from Pastor Scott. We visited because we didn't teach. We went to our church, and then we went to see Pastor Scott Presley, and he said he had heard, and we never heard this because we heard it was. I always heard it was he wrote the names down in the sand. No one knows what he wrote, but Pastor Scott Presley said he wrote the sins down.
That's what we were talking about.
Whatever he
Right.
wrote, they were
That's what I
aware of
remember.
themselves and that they had that
And
they
left.
were not without sin.
Yeah.
And that they were guilty of
Yes.
of something requiring the same punishment.
Yes, I
Yep.
always thought he wrote the names of the people down. Like, okay, like
At-
you
at first I did
adulterated,
too.
you did this adultery, you did this, you did this. But God,
Yeah.
but God.
The oldest first. The oldest first left, and then finally there. And we read this last week.
They went away convicted,
Yeah. It said, "Is there no
guilty,
Is there no one here to condemn you?"
unworthy. They all went away unworthy,
They-
guilty, and condemned.
They dropped the rocks and they took off.
Which is where we start, isn't it?
the
That's
way
where we
every
start.
day.
From the headed in the right direction when we are convicted and guilty from within. You know,
Humble.
yeah.
Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord. and
So
He'll
who
lift you
knows
up.
who was saved that day? Maybe everyone there to stone her. Maybe
'Cause they
her
got
and her as well.
conviction.
Yes.
Takes conviction.
Yep. They understood their own guilt.
And the point of the and you know, and regardless of whether it was their names, their sins, that is
yeah.
irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
That is between them and God, actually. Otherwise, they
Right.
would have mentioned it.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is that Jesus knew each and every one of them and called them out to the point that they were convicted and they left without condemning a woman to death.
That's right.
A
and
guilty
then
woman.
a guilty woman. She is very clearly guilty. And she says, and Jesus said, "Is there no one else? Is there no one here to condemn you?" And she said, "Only you. You know,
Go and sin
no
no
one's
more.
left but you." He says, "Well, I don't either. Go and sin no more."
Amen.
And her whole entire world, you know, changed. I'm willing to bet she didn't commit adultery ever again after that. But that's speculation.
I don't
So-
know that experience in the presence of the Lord.
Oh
and-
man,
But you know, look at us all. We all sin and fall
Yeah.
short of the glory.
that was actually going to be
The
title
point
of
was
the show
she
today
walked
was We
away
All Have Our
convicted as
Faults.
well.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
she
yeah.
also was
Redeemed.
a direct recipient in real time
Of
of the grace
redemption.
and mercy and redemption of the Lord.
Yes, forgiven by Jesus, by the Word Himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was so ornery this morning because I didn't want to get up at 5:30.
Right, Troy. They were just as
Oh,
unclean as she was.
no.
Yes.
5:30.
Oh yeah. I was.
To come this
I was
morning.
saying, Lord, I'm sorry for being so ornery. I'm happy to be alive.
So you're not a
breathe.
morning person?
No, I'm a
No?
theater girl. Are you kidding?
No,
At 1 in the morning, I'm still eating after a show and up. And then when I did theater for so long that, you get up at 11 for
It's
your
the
2 o'clock
nightlife.
show.
It's the
You have
nightlife.
to be ready at 8 o'clock to do a show. You have to have tons of energy.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can't get up at 5:30 because then you can't give your audience all you need to give them.
Right.
But I don't have a show
Right.
tonight. We have a show tomorrow night. 5 o'clock, Hot Hits Theater. And
So-
Saturday.
Yes.
So yeah, Jeff, are you going to be here tomorrow? I mean,
Jeff will be here, maybe. We
Okay.
may have a rehearsal.
if not, we'll understand. We get it.
Yes.
Good. I may make him rehearse. 'Cause
Okay, so
we're
if
putting
you
in
rehearse,
Megan.
just let me know. Shoot me a text or what have you, because we understand that you guys have a show.
And
He has
Megan
to have
is-
his voice. Megan is going to Emma and Emily are doing Saturday night because they're on dance team.
Now,
they're
Megan was the other one that
cheerleaders.
was here that
They're
day.
busy.
Then when you guys
No,
did the
that's
tap dancing
Mackenzie,
thing.
who's away at college
Mackenzie.
now, majoring
Yeah.
in musical theater.
Yeah.
Megan is the other one that did one of the shows. I don't know if you met Megan.
I may have
Beautiful-
seen her.
Beautiful girl, long hair. You saw her rehearse.
Yes.
Megan Rogers is doing the show tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. So come by the Hot Hits Theater.
Yeah, I met
That's in Branson.
Mackenzie.
By the
Where
way.
is it? Where is the
Downtown Branson.
downtown?
Hot Hits Theater.
76?
No, it's
Cross-
right off. It's right on South Commercial, and
Right.
it's right across from the Owens Theater. And
Right.
it's a
Theater.
lovely little theater. And
It
we have
is.
social
It used to be-
distancing.
Yeah.
It used to be a storefront, but man, did they do wonders
Yes,
when
the
they
Platters are there. The Motown are
It's
there.
up
Doo-wop
close
are
and
there.
personal.
Like the
Yes, it
actual
is.
platters.
The actual,
The
like
actual
Eddie,
Platters.
phenomenal.
Yep.
Still, he
Wow.
was. How long has he been in the Platters? For 42
Oh,
years.
yes.
He's an amazing man.
Love
Eddie
that
Silvone
sing,
music.
and
can
I
dance,
are
and-
like two peas in a pod.
I was
that's-
listening to their music when it was coming out on the radio.
They're so good still.
When I was
Their
a kid.
voices are amazing.
And then who was the one of the original box tops? He's
Will,
he
the
wa-
one with the glasses.
Yeah.
Will is amazing too. They're all amazing. Their voices are like you. You've got a great voice.
thank
Ray Charles, I'll tell you what. If you
He
saw
plays
him
Ray
in the store,
Charles.
you'd swear you saw a ghost of Ray Charles.
That's Will. He plays.
That's
Except
Willie Nash.
Willie
Yes.
Nash, is he actually blind too?
Yes. He is.
Oh, wow.
Boy, you'll have to have him on.
Oh, he is something else.
I know. So Hot Hits Theater. There's a lot of shows going
But
on.
you'd swear you're meeting Ray Charles. I mean, he's
Yes.
he and his wife both are sweet people.
I know. Yes, and then Emma and Emily will be back Saturday night for 5
Yay.
o'clock.
Awesome.
My sister from another mister.
And we have special rates, so come right to the door. You get special rates.
Well, Troy, the reason we're able to talk about it is because these two are putting in their time and effort into putting on a show for us. So we're going to talk about their theater.
Are we
that
allowed
they,
to,
that
Matt?
they go to.
No, it's
Oh,
not advertising. I mean,
It's not advertising. We're talking about you. I mean, you guys are part of Acts Ministry and our Acts Media Group, and you guys have a show.
Yes.
It's
So-
your theater. You produce it.
Yes.
So
You put it on.
it's a great show.
So
I've been
we're
to
talking
it.
about
I've
the
actually
show.
been
It's not a
twice.
sponsor.
Matt's been twice.
Yeah,
And
twice.
Steve's been twice. And Jay. Why have you
I
not
have
brought
not
Jay
been.
Jay?
is
He had
the
to
only
work.
one.
He's
that
You
working.
ended
hasn't
up
been
having to
there
work.
yet.
All
ended up
right.
having to
We have
work.
4 more shows until
I'm
Christmas
that all
time.
work and no play guy.
Matt,
I'm the dull
get him
boy.
out of here. Get him to the show.
You know?
Oh,
What are you
you'll really
doing?
enjoy it too.
And then I have to rest because I have a bad back. So I
Oh.
do a lot of resting every day, and I work as much as I can in between. So I work then rest, work then
How
rest.
do you
and
drive
that's
a
my day.
motorcycle with a bad back? You good?
Well, I don't carry it.
That's right. You don't carry it.
First of all, you do not want to carry a motorcycle. They're heavy.
Very heavy.
How heavy?
I think
How heavy was it?
mine is 650 or 750 pounds.
Ooh.
But I don't carry it, and I don't hold it up. It balances. I mean, it's
Okay.
very well balanced.
That's a good thing.
I would not drive. When we were in Nepal, we went to visit before we adopted our baby, and they drive scooters all over.
Yeah.
And Jeff, I didn't even know he knew how to drive. He didn't, so I would not drive with him. So the missionary brother-in-law, I would drive with Norman. I would not drive with
Poor
Jeff.
Jeff.
And then we'd stop at gas stations, and because it was in the midst of a civil war, they'd have guns, and they wouldn't give him gas. And I'm like, Norman, let's just go. Let's just go. No, get the gas. Oh, my, he was like a Peter. And, oh, yeah. There's my experience with the motorcycle.
Yeah.
My big Nepali experience.
Yeah.
I would not drive with you.
Yeah, Troy, you need to check out their show. It's amazing. It's
It is.
amazing.
It's a fun show.
Yeah.
Troy, come on down with
It's
your
called
wife.
it's called from Hollywood from New York.
Nope.
Come on, Matt.
Wait a
You-
second. From Broadway to Hollywood to Branson.
All
There
right.
you go.
Took me a second.
Shoulders.
I'll tell you what. In a lot of humor, a lot of dance, and a lot of high energy is what I would say.
So you
Uh,
can sing the classics with us.
and a lot of
And Jeff with a G is his performance is different every night.
it is.
wild.
I mean, they're similar, but and I was telling him this. You know what I love is that whenever you guys sing the love songs to each other, you're actually singing them to each other.
Yes.
But do you know what our
And the
daughter
little
told us?
smooches on stage,
Okay.
those are real smooches.
Yes, but our
Don't-
daughter, our 19-year-old daughter, who's away at college, who saw it, she said, you're not allowed more than 2 kisses during the show. Do you agree with that? 'Cause
No,
we do
I
kiss.
think you guys are husband and wife. You guys can do whatever you want.
I think
it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
She said, Mommy, just do 2 kisses. Maybe she was
Well,
embarrassed that
that's
it's being
coming
too...
from a daughter's point
Public-
of
Jeff
view.
is wanting to say something over there.
She says it's awkward.
But that's our teenage daughter. Play public display of affection. She's like 2. Don't do any more than 2.
Hey, it's
But
inside your
Matt, you
theater. It's not
disagree,
public.
So there you go.
That's true, and you guys are married, and what I love is that you can see the love in your eyes when you sing those to
The
each
spark.
other.
There's
Yeah.
sparks.
It's not
Sparks.
staged. It's not staged love.
I never
It-
know what he's going to do. He's the youngest child, and he wings it a lot, and he
That's-
keeps me on my
Especially
toes.
when it comes
brother.
to the pizza
Bravo.
pie.
Oh, brother. I have to
And
be
then
on my toes.
They have all kinds of trivia during the show
Yes.
where they
Oh,
involve
they
the
pick
audience.
on you a big time.
It's educational.
It is educational.
All
But
the
try
old
to keep up.
classics.
It comes so fast.
And it's personable.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's They really make you part of the show when it comes to trivia.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
make you sing, but you can sing if you'd like.
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like a sing along.
Yes.
right.
It's sing along old classics, and you can hum along.
Oh, yeah.
And we
Oh.
even put Matt in the front row at one time, and Steve in the front row.
Yeah. Well,
I'll put you in
me
the front row,
You put
Jay.
me in the
I would
front row
love to be
both
there.
times I was there.
Ooh,
I
you're
want to
Reverend
go.
Matt.
Yeah,
But I took your seat.
that's all right.
I just don't want to say I'm going to come and then not be able to go.
Don't worry about it.
And I want to be. And I want to be there.
Make
and
it
I
a
see. I do
surprise.
want to be there, and I want to see.
I am
this.
not here to guilt-ridden you.
You know
Guilt-rid.
what?
It's too
You'll
late.
make it a
Guilt
surprise
trip.
Guilt
appearance.
trip, no guilt trips here.
Well, and I want to be supportive
You are very
because
supportive.
I love what you guys do. I love you guys. You're amazing. It's so fun
See,
to be
now he's
around.
feeling really guilty. So
No, I mean you
No, not
ended up having
No,
to
I'm
work,
joking.
Guilt is on
so we
his
wouldn't have been able to be
forehead.
there.
We're good, Jay. Don't you
I
worry
would have
about a
been there if I
thing.
could have been already.
It's okay.
I would have.
He will be there this season.
Okay,
Yes.
good. 4 more shows. And then
We'll-
we're going to do a
we'll help
Christmas
'em.
one.
We'll
Yeah.
help him along.
Oh, we
Okay.
need to go
Take
see
him
the
in
Christmas
your car.
one.
Take him in your car.
Take
Get
him
him
in
off
your
the
car.
motorcycle.
He's
Take him
gonna
in
be-
your car.
I might just bring my motorcycle.
He has to
You
leave his
can- we have
motorcycle in the
parking
yacht.
spots in front of the theater.
So you hold your motorcycle up with your legs and hips,
Oh, my Lord.
with
We're
not
back
your
around-
lower back and your
We're
discs.
back around to this now.
I just wanted to explain
We're
that because she
jumping.
did ask, and I didn't want to leave it hanging out there. But and you don't carry it, and it balances. So it's not. In some ways, it's better than a car. In some ways, it's not.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Well, you don't have air conditioning, do you?
Well, every time you go around a corner in a car, your body does this, right?
Yeah.
And so that's like my discs are like this.
Ooh.
Well, on a motorcycle, you lean, and it's always straight, direct pressure down on it instead of it being like
So
that.
it's like this instead of like
Wow.
this.
Right.
Okay. Do you drive a motorcycle?
No.
Oh.
I will be.
So I wouldn't. For me, it's better also, and I think part of what's better about it is that I hate driving. I
Okay.
love riding a motorcycle.
Okay.
Mm.
There you go.
So, and
Fresh air.
there
Times
was-
Square.
so
Times
there's
Square.
so I can't. So I have to be very careful with what I do and don't do.
Okay.
You know, I have to manage my time so that I get plenty of rest laying down every day
Mm-hmm.
to relieve the pressure on my back. So there's I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
you have to. I mean, it's that or don't get to do much that you love. You know, or
I pray
anything.
healing for your
Steve
back.
Schultz wants
Yeah.
to ask Jay, what do you think about the no helmet law?
Ooh.
I wear a helmet because my head's important to me,
Yeah.
and
That's
if
the
I
only
break
seatbelt you
it,
have.
I can't ride.
Yeah.
So
There is a no helmet
Yeah.
law here. You don't have.
you don't have to wear
one?
it anymore. Yeah,
What? When did that?
I don't know
pass?
if it's Springfield or Missouri or where.
I thought it was Missouri.
Steve, is it Missouri? I probably will ride
What?
without it.
Oh, what
Steve
prompted that
Schultz.
to happen? What prompted that? That's surprising.
I don't know. People, I guess, I mean, first of all, whenever I get my motorcycle, I'm going to already have gear with elbow pads and knee
I'm
pads.
gonna wear.
I would get hip
whether it's a
pads.
no
Shoulder
helmet
pads.
law or
Hip
not. I'm
pads.
wearing a helmet. You never know when you're gonna hit a chuck hole.
So there's a lot of misconceptions about the dangers of riding a motorcycle. For one thing, if you're not doing multiples of the speed limit, people don't pull out in front of you. That's just not true. And if you understand lane position, so in each lane for a motorcycle, you have lane position 1, 2, and 3. And those are educational things so that you know how to position yourself where people can see you. Plus, you don't travel too close to the car in front of you for multiple reasons. One, the traffic coming into traffic, merging into traffic, can't see you if you're right behind a vehicle.
Right.
And that's the spot they most often will have to take if they're entering traffic.
Yep.
So if you're there, they can't see you. That's the only spot they see that's open for them. There's an accident waiting to happen. So you have to keep the proper distance from the car in front of you. Don't go multiples of the speed limit. I travel a couple of miles an hour faster than the speed of traffic because that way so if you just go the speed limit on a motorcycle, people will tailgate. 7 out of 10 cars will tailgate you within 1 or 2 car lengths. Then they'll split the lane past you. In other words, occupy your lane to pass you, and then cut you right in front of you. And then you end up boxed in because then another car comes up behind you and a car comes up beside you. But if you go a couple of miles an hour over the speed of traffic, you're not going so fast that people see you, then decide they have enough space and go, and then you're there. You know, they've judged properly. They've judged rightly how fast you're going, so they know they can get out there. And it's, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things you need to learn to travel safely. So the first 2 weeks of my riding in 2.5 years, I had probably 5 or 10 cars pull right out in front of me.
Oh, brother.
After I learned these things, and I don't know if I'm supposed to plug it, but as a public service announcement, MC Rider on YouTube, check him out. If you're having trouble riding and you feel like riding your motorcycle's not safe, watch him, binge watch him. Within a week, all of those things that you feel are unsafe about motorcycles will change.
When I get my pink motorcycle, I'll have to refer to you again and watch it.
So since my first 2 weeks,
I'm not gonna
and
get
I
one.
started watching MC Rider, I've had maybe 1 or 2 people pull out in front of me, and they weren't so close a call that I thought I was going to get hurt.
There you go.
They just were people who didn't see me, and I was able to be careful and not get into an accident.
This is very educational today.
Yeah, so it's not as dangerous as you think.
You picked a good day to be on.
What's dangerous
a
is
lot.
riding crazy.
Yes.
All right. Well, that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on The Morning Drive today. We'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in next for The New Gold Standard with Tony Hammock, followed by Open-Ended with Peggy Lee and Jeff with the
With the
G.
G. Yes.
Jeff with a G.
So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt,
My name is Jay.
My name's Steve.
Peg with a P.
and this has been
The Morning
Morning
Drive.
Drive.